Nation. Good morning.
I love this concept. Good morning, you guys. Yes, we're inside Pachamama Coffee Farmers this morning, right in the heart of East Sacramento. You see Cruz over there preparing some delicious slow drip coffee. Okay, what's this process called?
Hold on, pour over.
I have to tell you, it's fantastic, all organic. I've been loving the coffee this morning. We're here to chat with Chelsea Glass, who is the woman behind a new travel craze. It's called The Heart of Travel. You just started it in November. And Chelsea, your vision really is to help people access countries where they might not normally travel to.
Yeah, I feel like Latin America is a region of the world that is so interesting. It has such a rich history. We think of the United States as a melting pot, but really, if you look at the history of Latin America, people have been brought over and migrated from all over the world to Latin America. And it's a place that people are so fearful to visit sometimes, so I really wanted to dispel some of those myths and let people see the real and authentic Latin America.
So we're looking at some pictures right now on your laptop from previous trips that you've taken. Typically, you take between 8 and 14 people, and you go everywhere from Guatemala to Peru, Cuba. And because you have traveled to these places yourselves, because you have friends there, and some of them, like Guatemala, for example, you lived in Guatemala, so you have the experience and the relationships to really build an incredible experience for your travelers.
Yes, so one of the things that I like is I go to countries where I have either lived or spent extensive time or have friends who have been living there. That way when we go, we have a much more of a local's perspective, and we're able to get into places or meet people that you might not otherwise find. And also speaking the language fluently really helps to open doors and get people to connect on a deeper level.
Yeah, absolutely, and the trip's really affordable, starting at $1,500, going up to $2,700 if you're going to spend a couple of weeks in Peru, for example. So as Cruz finishes preparing these cups of coffee, I'm going to swing over and chat with a couple people who have done some of these trips. Steve, I know that you recently traveled to Guatemala with Chelsea. What was your experience like?
It was fantastic. I went with a group of Spanish learners, but it didn't matter if you knew Spanish at all or were fluent. Chelsea just took care of everything, and we went on great adventures, great cultural experiences.
I love the picture on your cell phone right here, because that was one of your favorite moments from that trip. What are we looking at here?
This is Chelsea and her friend Anna from Guatemala on the top of the jungle. We're on a pyramid, drinking a beer, overlooking the jungle of Guatemala. It's just one of the highlights of the trip.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that Chelsea is really fantastic at, is creating those really beautiful relationships with the people in the places that she wants to travel to. Dennis and his wife Jonelle, you guys traveled to, was it Cuba?
Cuba, yes.
What was that like?
It was very interesting, much more so than I thought, because when we got home, we had more questions from friends and family about this trip than any trip we've ever been on.
Well, it sounds like an absolutely wonderful adventure. I'm ready to sign up. The website is theheartoftravel.org, and Chelsea is ready to book her next trip. In fact, she's heading to Guatemala once again later this week.
Some people just have it in their blood, for sure. How interesting and how nice that she's making it so easy for everybody. Thanks, Bethany. Again, that'll be on Good Day.